Hey everybody! Mic bump. Hey everyone, and welcome back to Lunchtime with Ace Silverfang. I am Ace Silverfang. And this is once again Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney Trilogy. I can also just say Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney because that's the name of the first game. But we're continuing with Rise from the Ashes on the final day of the trial. And when I say continuing, I mean we're finishing. Hold on, something's not right. Ah, there we go. Now it's right. No, it's just not recognizing me as my own viewer. Yes, I've watched my own stream. It's the only way to make sure everything's actually working. Here we go! February 25th, 12:06. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 2. Sorry, Edgeworth. I didn't mean to get you in trouble. Don't worry about it. This is my problem, not yours. Not yours. Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals. Oh, guess I am. I'll come back later. Wait, Detective Gumshoe, what is it? You got a lot of nerve, pal, making the detective run all around while on duty. Wait, it feels familiar. You got a lot of nerve, pal, making a detective run all around while on duty. And to top it off, you call me here. And top it off, you call me here. I've seen happier people at funerals. I take it Lana's having you run errands again. Let me tell you, this is the last time, pal. Here, she asked me to give this to you. Oh, he knew it was her asking. Okay. Here, she asked me to give this to you. There was a break in today's trial. Evidence law. What's that cover? Evidence law? Edgeworth was talking about this just the other day. You must know the 2 rules of evidence law. Rule 1. No evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. Is that right, Mr. Wright? Seems so. You could at least study some evidence law. Really. The chief prosecutor also wanted me to give you a message. Message? She said, if you're planning to take him on, you're going to need this book. Him? Him. I guess I'll need to give this book a read. Evidence law securely slipped into pocket. From Miss Sky explains the 2 rules of evidence law. There's an entire book for 2 rules? Doesn't look like that book will do you any good now, though. All that's left now is the chief prosecutor's sentence. That's where you're wrong, detective. Huh? Haven't you figured it out yet? Why I'm still sitting in that prosecutor's seat? Despite all these allegations being thrown at me. Mr. Edgeworth. Oh, Mr. Edgeworth. The real trial today hasn't begun yet. What? What else is there left to do? Your credibility's been all but ruined with this forged evidence you were unaware of. And when Sky found out, she unwittingly caused a man's death. And now you're telling me you want to do more? You've got to be kidding me, pal! You're missing the point, Detective. Lana didn't murder Detective Goodman. She merely stuck a knife into his dead body. Yep, there it is. I knew it. That means the real killer is still out there. That means the real killer is still out there. What? And we're going to expose him. No matter what it takes. This case has hurt too many people. It's time to bring it to an end. February 25th, 1252, District Court, Courtroom number 9. Court will now reconvene for the trial of Miss Lana Sky. Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, Your Honor. The inquiry committee is planning to impose harsh penalties for your actions. Thank you for the news, Your Honor. Yes, well, normally this is when the prosecution calls forth the witness. But, this is easy to say. You see, there's some concern that you, Mr. Edgeworth, have, struck a bargain. You think I may have manipulated the witnesses? I didn't say that. It's just, you see, everyone has been talking, and... Very well, Your Honor. I have a solution. A solution? That being the case, the prosecution will allow the defense to call forth all further witnesses. What? But there's no precedent for what you're proposing. I don't know what kind of court this is, but in American court, the defense can also call witnesses. Undeniably, this is an unusual arrangement, but a very effective one. It would prove that I haven't struck any deals with the witnesses. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you say? Unbelievable. Edgeworth has found a way to continue the trial. Very well. The defense accepts the prosecution's proposal. Then it's settled. The defense may now call forth the next witness. Mr. Wright. You do realize this is your last chance. If you call the wrong witness, of course, okay. Well, they're threatening me, which means I better save. This trial is as good as over. The defense calls. The time's finally come to bring out the real murderer. Dick Gumshoe! I'm kidding, no. Damon Kent. The corpse! No. Not the murderer, not the murderer, not the murderer, not the murderer, not the murderer. Obviously. Damon Gant. The defense calls Damon Gant to the stand. Damon Gant? What does he have to do with anything? As the defendant's partner 2 years ago, Mr. Gant has first-hand knowledge of the crime. I feel we should hear what he has to say about it. As luck would have it, he would still be in the courthouse. He should still be in the courthouse. He would also be the least likely to have been manipulated by me in any way. Wouldn't you agree, Your Honor? True. All right. Bailiff, please escort Mr. Grant to the stand. Witness, please state your name and occupation. What is it? Some kind of practical joke? I was just on my way to lunch. Your name and occupation, sir. Worthy! Are you sure you want to do this? I'm more of a Worthy. Are you sure you want to do this? Your name and occupation. So, you want to play hardball, eh? Please, Mr. Gant. Fine. My name is Damon Gant. I'm the acting chief of police. Wait. Acting? But who is the chief of police? Or who was the chief of police? I mean, if he's the chief of police, he should just be the chief of police. Very odd that it didn't say acting chief of police. Now then, Chief Gant. The court requests to hear your testimony. Oh, righto. What's with the grim face? First, let's clear up this SL9 incident. Oh, you mean that time when Lana's sister murdered the prosecutor? She didn't murder anybody. It was manslaughter. Personally, I think it's been made pretty clear already. There are still some things unaccounted for. Oh, like what? Like the role you played in all of this. Son, either you're very brave or very foolish. There's the terrifying look. You are aware, of course, that a police chief has all kinds of weapons at his disposal. Weapons? Sure. Take my testimony, for example. I don't have to give it if I don't want to. What? Is that true? Well, I'm afraid so. The chief of police has the right to refuse to testify. That doesn't make any sense. That just further means he could very well be guilty. That doesn't make any sense. He's not above the law. Of course, such an action carries with it certain risks. Okay. Don't worry, I'm not here to hinder your trial. Oh, hold on. Huh. Here I thought unplugging my mic and plugging back in would be a faster way to deal with muting. I wish my mic had a mute button. It normally would. Like, it technically does. But it's never worked properly. And right out of the box, it just never has. Don't buy headphones from China. They don't work. Every headphone I've had that was made in China does not, made by a Chinese company, does not work. I called them for tech support and they just sent me another one that works exactly the same. So I don't know what to do about these headsets. Just remember, if this turns out to be a big waste of time, don't say I didn't warn you. Very well. The witness may now begin his testimony. The SL9 incident. As I recall, Neil and I were questioning him that day. To make a long story short, we slipped up. That power outage didn't help either. When I went to my office, I found Lana there. Apparently she had already arranged the crimes. As you can see, I had nothing to do with the forgery. Yeah, we're not saying you had anything to do with the forgery necessarily. Is that when Dark was arrested? Him? He was lying on the floor unconscious. Jeez, we gotta see this again. Jeez. When Emma sent Neil flying, it seems Dark bumped his head. I see. Everything seems pretty clear-cut. If the police chief has the right to refuse to testify. Hold up. Man, I'm having serious trouble with this. Need to get another tissue. Okay, sorry. It's very unpleasant. If the police chief has the right to refuse to testify, then I better hit him hard and fast. Cross-examination. Hard and fast. As I recall, a ceremony was held at the police department that day. Yes, that's right. I guess you could say I'm a workaholic. After winning his award, Neil was all fired up too. That's probably what spooked Dark and made him run away like that. Was the defendant Lana Skye also present in the room? I don't quite remember. At the very least, she wasn't there when Dark ran for it. To make a long story short, yep. Keep going. So the two of you ran immediately after him, right? That's right. But Dark made it to the elevator first. So Neil and I split up. He went upstairs and I went downstairs. I guess you could say he got lucky. What's this about a power outage? What's this about a power outage? Oh, that! The elevator stopped all of a sudden, and I got the shock of my life. Well, probably not as shocked as Neil was when that knife went through his heart, though. That's not funny. More evidence that he could be a criminal, a murderer. When I went to my office, I found Lana there. Can you tell us what you saw? It was a shocking sight. Neil and that serial killer were lying in a heap on the floor, all tangled together. Dark was also lying collapsed on the floor. Oh, Dark was also lying collapsed on the floor? Yes, apparently he hit his head and was knocked out. Next to them were those two poor girls, Lana and Emma. Lana was cradling Emma in her arms. Looking back at it now, she must have already known what her sister had done. Apparently, she had already arranged the crime scene. How can you know that? Because of the victim's body. It had already been moved. So that means you found the body near Lana's desk? That's right. I think you said earlier it was my suit of armor. that really stabbed the prosecutor. Yes. Anyway, as you can see, I had nothing to do with the forgery. Well, so you're saying that the forgery had already taken place by the time you arrived at your office? That's exactly what I'm saying. I can understand how Lana must have felt. But moving a body and hiding evidence are inexcusable no matter what the circumstances. Is that how it really went down? Staring at the witness won't do you any good, Mr. Wright. If you're going to stare at anything, you'd be better off staring at the court record. Worthy. Always the smooth talker. But which piece of evidence ties Gant to the forgery? Lana didn't admit to forging evidence. No, Lana did admit to forging evidence. But that can't be the whole truth. Somehow I've got to link Gant to the incident. Well, let's take a look, shall we? He had this changed, but that doesn't really tie him to the incident. The knife is there. The knife tip was found. Wait. Yeah. MS Guy's prints. Why was Gant hiding half the list? Probably, I don't know. Blackmail, maybe? Rules for submitting evidence. Rule 1. No evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. Rule 2. Unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial. No. Alright, now I'm looking for Gant's name. There it is. He's the executive investigator alongside the Lana Sky. That's it. I mean, he did say we'd be better off checking the court record. That's why I'm checking it, but... for what? Oh, wait. Wrong button. Misclick. So they had this picture showing us what the room looked like back then. We know I'm trying to remember everything of the case. We know that someone went in with Goodman and took all the evidence out of the locker. We have to tie him to the murder itself somehow. But we don't have a lot of evidence from back then, so it's a little tricky. Questioning that day, make a long story short, we slipped up. Nothing to do with the forgery. Wait. Something's been bothering me since the beginning. How could Lana have possibly lifted the detective off of that dagger? Look at that. Look at how high that is. And it's in the knight's grip. How did she lift him off of that without being obvious about it? It's basically a statue. It would have had to be lifted up from it, not really just have it pulled out. I didn't think so. This is tricky. I have to use... Okay, hold on. Ah, dang. Did it... Oh, man. I screwed up. I didn't know it was so... I thought I'd saved more recently. That's fine. I just need to race through this conversation. I need to think anyway. Him being all coy and avoiding things. So my bad, but it's not like it's so far back. Oh, I really don't know what evidence to present to him, though. It's a ridiculously short testimony. See, look at this. Boom! Up and into the heart and lung. He's, hanging there. Well, let's cross-examine again. Maybe I missed something. That's right, workaholic. They split up. I'm just getting all these reread after you know that. It had already been moved. Okay, then he's gonna have this whole big bit. Edward's gonna say, focus on the court record. Let me, yeah. That way I don't have to go through all that again. So, what do I present? Forged evidence. No. Whenever he's vague, it means that you're wrong. That's how you can tell. Nothing to do with the forgery, huh? Okay, nope. What on earth could it be? What on earth could it be? I don't have a lot to go on. I have this testimony and somehow very little evidence. I have a knife. Okay, it was this. I just had it on the wrong piece of text. You claim you had nothing to do with the forgery. But I'm afraid that is a claim you cannot back up. Explain yourself. Several pieces of evidence were found in your office. Take this jar, for example. What's that blue badger? Yeah, that's the blue badger you showed us earlier. A piece of this jar was discovered in your safe. Not only that, but the evidence list I presented earlier was actually found inside your desk. It was found where? You see, Chief Gant, these articles of evidence uncovered in your office are both concrete proof that you also played a part in the illegal investigation. Chief Gant, what is the meaning of this? Oh, here's a defense attorney who may even rival Worthy. So you admit it then, that you were involved in the forgery? Who, me? Or did you mean you? Me? Why would I have anything to do with that? I wasn't even an attorney back then. Well, you were the one who snuck into my office when you found this evidence. Prosecutors aren't the only ones capable of forging evidence, you know. Defense attorneys can do so, too. Isn't that right, Righto? However, Detective Gumshoe was present during the investigation. Thank goodness. Worthy, my boy. Not even detectives are exempt from the law. Rest assured, Dick. Rest assured, Dick will receive his due punishment. What? Is Detective Gumshoe's salary gonna drop in? Oh. If Detective Gumshoe's salary drops any further, he'll end up paying to work. Yes, well, in light of the detective's presence, please give us your testimony regarding these pieces of evidence found in your office, and the relation to the forgery that took place at the crime scene. My. Kids these days no longer know how to put two and two together. Very well. Evidence and forgery. Let's see, what was it now? A jar fragment and a list? For all I know, you could have planted them in my office. Alexa, shut up. Anyway, you can't prove when those pieces of evidence were discovered. If they were found after Drake was convicted, then they're worthless. There's no reason I participate in a forgery. Rearranging the crime scene wouldn't help me out in any way. Mr. Rice? Yes, Your Honor? When investigating the crime scene, you should have been more careful to observe protocol. What protocol? All I've ever done is walk into a crime scene and pick up evidence, apparently. You do understand that I am the chief of police, right? There will be consequences. Oh. Indeed, I believe I will press charges so you won't make the same mistake again. My apologies, Chief, but would you mind waiting until tomorrow for that? Today is, well, you know. All right, Aji. In return, though, I know that place, right? What place? Huh? What, are these guys telepathic? What are they doing? Evidence and forgery. But I didn't! I'd appreciate it if you'd stop making these ridiculous allegations. Yes, you do have a point. You wouldn't have the guts to do something like that. What? I'll have you know, back in the day, I once broke into a cattle ranch and tipped... Mr. Wright, what are you saying? Anyway, you can... Don't confess to tipping a cow! Anyway, you can't prove you didn't carry in the evidence, can you? If you have proof to the contrary, you're going to need it later. Or you're going to need it later. Yeah, that feels better. Later? What are you talking about? What else? I'm talking about when Wright's prints are found. Yes, if they're found inside my safe, they would prove his investigation was illegal. I've never faced anyone as slimy as this guy. Anyway, you can't prove when those pieces of evidence were discovered. Can't I? What do you mean by that? This is all purely hypothetical, of course. But suppose I did place those items in my safe. Such an act wouldn't necessarily constitute forgery. If concealing evidence found at a crime scene isn't forgery... I'm not through speaking yet, Righto. It all depends on when the evidence was discovered. If they were found after Drake was convicted, then they're worthless. Are you saying this jar fragment wasn't discovered in the initial investigation? It would appear not. After all, it wasn't listed in the evidence list. For all we know, it could have suddenly materialized the day after Dark was sentenced. Oh, and wouldn't that be convenient? Right. Right. The chief is talking about a possibility. So long as you can't rule that out, your remarks, however clever they may be, will only succeed in wasting time. Tell me something I don't know. Come now, Righto! Think about it. There's no reason I participate in a forgery. Or isn't there? How can you look me in the eye and say that? Because I'm innocent. Remember, who was it that murdered Neil? I'm not sure I care for the word murder here. Yeah, neither do I. It's manslaughter. But in the end, the person responsible for Mr. Marshall's unfortunate demise was Emma Skye. Or was it? Something still doesn't add up. We still have a gap to account for. Because she lost consciousness. Well, now do you see? Rearranging the crime scene wouldn't help me out in any way. Really, Chief Gant? At the very least, there is one very large benefit you've reaped from all this. Oh? I wasn't aware. What is this benefit? That would, of course, be the position you have. Chief of Police. Oh! The resolution of the SL9 incident secured your promotion to Chief. That in itself is sufficient motive. Oh, oh, oh! Oh, that's a good one! Huh? Do you really think I'm that incompetent? What do you mean? Even without that case, I was already in line to become the next chief. The resolution of SL9 merely sped up the inevitable a little. Is that true, Edgeworth? Yes. He was going to be made chief anyway. Gah! Be careful in pointing that finger, or you might wind up being the one pointed at. so that means there's only one possible motivation for you to commit forgery. If you didn't do it for yourself, then you did it for someone else. Don't be silly, Worthy. You know me better than that. There are only 3 people I look out for. Me, myself, and I. There, it's out in the open now. Udgy, would you mind if I changed my testimony a little? By all means, please do. He always looks surprised there, just wide-eyed. Oh, yes, of course. I wouldn't be anyone's accomplice if there was nothing in it for me. Okay? Nothing in it for you? Sorry, but the only person I care about is yours truly. That girl, Lana's little sister, was it? If you think I felt sorry for her, you'd better think again. You're right. You don't feel sorry for anyone. Be tough on crime and tough on people. That's how I was raised. You seem to be lax enough on yourself, though. Oh! 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 That's a good one, Worthy! Could there have been something in it for him? Given his selfishness, would he have helped someone out? Yes! Point on accomplice! True, you might not help out anyone for their sake. But if it will benefit you, you might decide to assist someone. Mr. Wright, it appears you're positively determined to portray the chief as a nice man who likes to lend people a hand. Our judge, ladies and gentlemen. About as observant as a tree. That's not what I mean. Very well then. Who is this person you believe Chief Gant may have helped forge the evidence? I mean... yeah. Chief Prosecutor Lana Sky? The defendant? I mean, she already pled guilty to, you know, forging evidence. So, yeah. I believe it's quite obvious in light of the circumstances. Emma Sky fell victim to an unfortunate series of events. Who would want to help her more than her own sister, Lana? And as for Chief Gant, he would also have a reason to help Lana if she asked him to. That reason, of course, is self-profit. Self-profit? What do you mean? Sorry. After the SL9 incident was resolved, Lana Sky was appointed chief prosecutor at the prosecutor's office. The person who arranged this job change was you, Chief Gant. But how would he profit from all of this? He would be able to use the chief prosecutor as his puppet. Essentially, he would acquire unchecked authority over all investigations. Don't tell me that despite the chief's formidable appearance, he plays with puppets! Our judge, everybody. On the ball, this guy. Oh, wait! You must mean puppet, as in someone forced to do his bidding. Never mind. Admit it, Chief. You assisted Lana Sky in forging evidence. Your motive was to appoint her as chief prosecutor so you could control her. Right, oh my boy. You have quite an imagination. Let me ask you something. What? Do you have any proof of this? That I controlled Lana? For example, is Lana testifying that I've done such a thing? Lana. She's keeping quiet to protect Emma. There's no way she'd testify against Gant. I'm afraid without any proof, this all amounts to nothing but more than mere conjecture. Unless that is also what happened in this incident. This incident? Which one would that be? Of course, I'm talking about the murder of Detective Bruce Goodman. The chief prosecutor has been acting strange throughout this entire trial. Almost as if someone has been controlling her. Worthy, you'd better watch your tongue. I wouldn't want you to get hurt. Just what do you mean? What he means, Your Honor, is that Chief Gant is involved in the murder of Detective Goodman. Not only that, but the Chief is now making Lana take the rap to cover up his involvement. What? What? Order! I said order! Mr. Wright, you can't be serious. Huh? This is an affront to the highest ranking officer in our law enforcement agency. To accuse the chief of police of blackmail and murder? That's it. Impossible! Your Honor, I was merely reiterating what Mr. Edgeworth said in easier to understand language. It's too late, Mr. Wright. There's no turning back for us now. Yep, there's no turning... Ah, dang. I'm blending Edgeworth's and Gant's voices. There's no turning back for us now. It looks like he's the one who's decided to go through with this. Can you prove this, Mr. Wright? That the chief, a high-ranking officer in the law, is involved in this murder? Good question. Regardless of his rank or title, Chief Gant is just a man. The question is he a criminal? I believe the evidence will tell. I see. Alright then. He said alright then. So alright then. Let's see what Mr. Wright's got. And it better be good. Show us this evidence that ties Chief Gant to the murder of Detective Goodman. Okay, I had something. I'm trying to remember what it was. Or rather, by something I mean I had an idea. Oh. BAM! This is the ID card list. Yes, the one that shows who entered the evidence room on the day of the crime. There was one ID on the list we couldn't determine the owner of yesterday. 7777777. Sorry, but there's no way you can prove that's my card number. It's your number. Like, there's no way you can prove it's mine. It's yours. What? How could you know that? The safe in Chief Gant's office requires a code to open. A 7-digit code. 7 digits? You don't mean... I'm afraid so, Your Honor. The code was 7777777. The same as the remaining ID card on that list. Yes! I've got him rattled now! Chief Gant, you entered the evidence room on the day of the crime. Order! Order! Chief Gant, what do you have to say? Nothing. The defense's search of my office was in violation of regulations. And I will demand Mr. Wright be punished to the maximum extent of the law. But right now, this court demands an explanation from you about the use of this ID card. Chief Gant, so you admit it? You entered the evidence room? On the day of the crime? What about it? I'm the chief of police. Whether it's the evidence room or the bathroom. What's the difference? I can go anywhere I want. Tell me, when you entered the room, were you alone? I always go to the bathroom alone, as I do with the evidence room. Detective Goodman wouldn't have happened to be with you that day, would he? Of course not. Why would he be? I hadn't seen him in days. You hadn't seen him in days? Chief Gant, I'm afraid you've just undone yourself. On that day, you had to have met with Detective Goodman. What do you mean? This trial's purpose is to determine Lana Sky's guilt. No, it isn't, Your Honor. This trial's purpose is to determine the truth. If Chief Gant met the victim on the day of the crime, then we need to determine one thing. What transpired during that meeting? In that case, Mr. Wright, I'm going to have to ask you for evidence. Oh, crud, evidence again. Here we go. Show us proof that the victim went to meet with Chief Gant on the day of the crime. Sure. Sure! Detective Goodman lost his ID card on the day of the crime. Or to be more accurate, Jake Marshall stole it. So Detective Goodman filled out a lost item report. He would have had to give that report to the Chief of Police. Yet you are in possession of the report, which means you can't be sure if he filed it. He filed it. How do I know, you ask? Because he needed to enter the evidence room that day. He needed to? Yes, to transfer the evidence out. Oh! Detective Goodman took the form to you, Chief Gant. Then, you accompanied the detective to the evidence room. I accompanied him? What do you mean? There's no other way the murderer and Detective Goodman could have entered the room. Hold on. Let me guess what you're going to say next. I, the Chief of Police, murdered poor Goodman. Exactly. But wait! The Chief didn't necessarily need to accompany him to the evidence room. He could have just lent him his ID card. Yes. Now that you mention it, I believe I might have done something of the sort. Sorry, but that's not possible. According to the record, your card was the only one used. It was only used once, yet you showed us your ID card earlier. If you had really lent it to Detective Goodman, it would have been found on his body. No! Wow. Chief Gant, You didn't! The murder was most likely a spur-of-the-moment crime, for no one in their right mind would choose the police department as a place to commit murder. After the murder, you contacted Lana at the prosecutor's office. Why? To dispose of Detective Goodman's body, of course. You're forgetting, Mr. Wright, that the victim's body was discovered in the prosecutor's office. Prosecutor's office's parking lot. How did he manage to move it there? You know that one, Edge. I was at the police department the entire day. And everyone's aware that Lana stayed at the prosecutor's office after the ceremony. Everyone except me, it seems. Still, you're the chief of police. You have an entire police force at your disposal. Oh, so you think I just ordered an officer to do it? Hey, you! Take this here dead body over to the prosecutor's office. I don't think so. Chief Kent, you left all the evidence we need to prove how you moved the body to the prosecutor's office. And all this time, I thought it was just a useless clue, just taking up space. I'm pretty confident I have the right answer. I just like saving now to be cautious. How could he have moved the body? Mr. Wright, show us this evidence. To move the victim's body, Chief Kent used this. A screwdriver! This is how he moved Detective Goodman's body. What's that? A screwdriver? But what does that have to do with this case? Mr. Edgeworth, think back to the day of the crime. What is this screwdriver doing here? It's here because... Ah! I was used! I was asked to go by Chief Gant, no less. He told me he wanted to keep it here in the prosecutor's office. In any case, on the day of the stabbings, I brought this back here. After the ceremony ended that day, I didn't plan to return to the prosecutor's office. But you did, because Chief Gant asked you to. You know, the body was found in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car. I think it's obvious what happened. The body was moved by that car. Yep. Detective Goodman's body was carried in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car? Yes. Unless, of course, you have another explanation, Chief. Why else would you have asked Mr. Edgeworth to transport evidence from a closed case? There's only one plausible explanation. To transport the body to your accomplice, Miss Lana Skye! Order! 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 What's going on here? Is there no room for rebuttal to the defense's outrageous accusations? Think back to the photograph Miss Starr took at the prosecutor's office. This was not a photo of the body being stuffed in the trunk to be taken away. It was exactly the opposite. It was a photo of the body being taken from the trunk. Chief Gant, please say something. I believe your time's up. My time's up? Sorry, Righto, but I'm having lunch with the District Attorney General after this. We have to get going if we're to make it in time for the early bird special. But the cross-examination isn't finished yet. Remember what I told you earlier. A police chief has all kinds of weapons at his disposal. Weapons? Like the right to refuse to testify. I'm invoking that right now. What? This is not a right to be casually invoked! There are certain risks to be considered. So you're going to just run away after all this? run away. Don't make me laugh, Worthy. I stabbed old Goodman. That's what you're saying, right? But if you had any conclusive evidence, you would have presented it by now. Well, you think I had Lana dispose of the body? If so, then show your proof and get it over with. I'll say it again, Mr. Wright. Damon Gant is the current chief of police. Save again, because he's warning me again. This court will not tolerate any accusations against him without concrete proof. Well, Mr. Wright? Your Honor? Do you have any concrete proof? Proof that Chief Gant murdered Detective Goodman and made Miss Sky to dispose of his body? I saved at the wrong point. Do I have any concrete proof? Yes! I can't let him just squirm his way out of this. I've got to keep the pressure on. Yes, Your Honor. I do have such evidence. Then please hurry up and present it. Just remember, you'd better prove Chief Gant murdered Detective Goodman beyond a shadow of a doubt. Okay, I want to say this, but it wasn't in the evidence room at the time of the murder. So, what exactly is this evidence? It's proof. As to whether or not it's enough to demonstrate the chief's guilt, I'll let you be the judge. But I am the judge. Oh, right. Well, what do you think, Your Honor? Well, I think, Mr. Wright, is I'm going to be late for lunch. I guess it wasn't enough. That was a new one. Haven't seen that one yet. Please, Your Honor, give me just a little longer to consider. Okay, I get it. Yes. Concrete proof. Oh my gosh, if I'm gonna have to go through that every single time, I'm just gonna reload. At this point, it is... Oh, dang it. Present evidence. Here we go. I'm going to say at the right point so I don't have to go through that entire spiel every time I mess up. I mean, I thought this would be it. Here's why. I thought that this proves that... It proves the guy that died within an hour and a half of 4 p.m. Which gives a lot of room for wiggling. A lot of wiggle room. Why do I need this? Load. Okay. I thought that finding the knife... There was 2 knives, right? So... Back out. Well, this is what was used to kill... Or to stab the corpse. Wait a second. Never mind. I thought maybe I could look at all their... I thought I could look at all the recent calls. Apparently, no, I can't. Ah, yeah, here. Apparently the blood puddle wasn't enough. Stop doing that. Stop doing that, me. It's not the game's fault. I keep hitting A too many times. Yeah, why not? Doesn't prove anything. Okay. What is it? Detective Marshall threw this back on. That's why it was found at the scene. There's the parking lot. Got a shoe with blood on it. I somehow doubt this is it. It's not it. Oh boy. I don't know what proves it. I'm also running out of evidence. Nope, I can't rotate it. Okay. This is tough. Maybe it was... I really don't know what it could be. I've used the most obvious evidence, which means at this point I might as well just present everything. But there's so much! I got 3 whole rows of evidence. Evidence law! I don't know. Shoot. Nope. Holy cow, what is the answer? There's nothing else even tying Goodman to the scene of the murder. Straight for blood? Nope. No. Since I already presented that, I didn't think the card ID record would be the correct evidence. But in all honesty, I don't know what the correct evidence is. Crud, I'm trying to... There. There. Nope. Oh, man, I'm running out of even evidence to present. Okay, so let's go over the evidence. Marshall stole the card. Edgeworth was presented the trophy. 2 years ago, Gant removed the halberd. This is Edgeworth's knife, used by Lana to take the blame, but that's all it was. She stabbed a corpse. That's Edgeworth's parking stub, proving he got back at 5:12. This is creepy. He died within an hour and a half of 4 p.m. Victim's memo found in the car trunk. The phone. She said muffler twice. Parking lot with Edgeworth's car, where the police chief never was. Same here. It's a photo of the parking lot where the police chief never was. This is the victim's shoe. This is the switchblade knife that was in the muffler. This reveals blood. This is the ID card record. This removes fingerprints from handprints for that's fingerprinting dust. This is screwdriver. But it's also not the correct thing. A half-written document. Oh, no, it's also not the correct thing. I don't know. Those two things. Okay, so apparently the video does not have Gant on it. I can't rewind the video farther back. That's not a possibility. If I could just find it on video, it'd be easier. I don't know. Glove. Matter of fact, what was this glove even important for? Why was the glove one of the pieces of evidence in that case? I don't know. My badge. Nope. My badge is not correct. At this point, I don't know what the answer is, so we're grinding away, trying to figure out what it is, because I don't have a clue. I have a lot of clues, but I have no clue what the right answer is. Nope. What do I not present? Let's start there. I haven't presented this. Wow, I've presented almost everything. I haven't presented this book. Unless... Okay, I just had a crazy idea. Like... So crazy, I really don't think it could possibly have been it. We'll go through, I'll take the hit. Here's how crazy it is. I have no proof yet. No use showing evidence. I'm not even sure of myself. No, Your Honor. At present, I have no conclusive evidence. See, Yaji. In that case, this court is forced to penalize you for your allegations against the chief. What? Here's a tip. Never gamble what you can't afford to lose, Righto. It seems that Lady Luck was on my side again today. Okay, Yaji, I'll leave the rest to you. Okay. I warned you earlier, Mr. Wright. This is an affront to a senior officer on our nation's law enforcement agency. What? I couldn't get my law out. He objected. Lady Luck, Maybe we should have a word with her. Mr. Edgeworth, what do you mean? What do you mean? There's one lady who knows the real truth behind this trial. We haven't yet had the honor of hearing her testimony. A lady who knows the truth. Another witness. In the absence of conclusive evidence, the only other method of proof is testimony. But Chief Gant has invoked his right to refuse to testify. There's still someone else. One more witness who can answer all the questions raised in this trial. Someone right in this very room. Mr. Edgeworth, who is this person? Why are you asking me, Your Honor? Have you forgotten? The defense is the one calling witnesses today. Mr. Wright, does such a witness exist? She may not be willing to tell the truth, but we can't just stop now. Yes, Your Honor. So that was the right call. I had to say I don't have evidence. Wow. That's quite a trick. Okay, Lana. You're the only one who can do this. The defendant, Miss Lana Skye? He's always surprised. That's my take on him. The judge is always surprised. She was in the underground parking lot at 5:15 p.m. on February 21st. Her task to dispose of the victim's body. In accordance with a certain someone's orders. Mr. Edgeworth? The prosecution has no objections, Your Honor. Very well. The court will now take its final recess for the day. In 15 minutes, we will reconvene to hear the defendant's testimony. The court is now in recess. Hold on. Hold on? Huh? Chief Gant, I thought you were going to eat. Listen good, Lana. Listen good, Lana. Getting back in the Gant voice. He's talking to Lana. I don't think you need me to tell you this, but if you accept Mr. Wright's claims, there will be terrible consequences. That's right. Your sister will be found guilty for Neil Marsher's murder. This isn't good. He's blackmailing her right in front of the judge. Of course, you'd never support such outrageous claims anyway, right? Just something to think about. All right, then. I've got a lunch date to meet. Even the judge is shocked. Okay, if there aren't any other further objections, this court is now in recess. Okay, come on, Judge. He just blackmailed her in front of you. February 25th, 2:04 p.m. That's a late lunch. What do you mean early bird special? Jeez. District Court Defendant Lobby number 2. Looks like we managed to save the game. Yeah, thanks to your help, Edgeworth. Thanks to your help, Edgeworth. That chief. He has something else, eh, pal? He's something else, eh, pals? Detective Gumshoe! I'm not a detective anymore. Oh, yeah, sorry about that. Don't worry, I've already decided where to work now. At your office! My office? Sure. I'll take the place of that top-knotted girl you used to work with. Could he mean Maya? Still, looks like we're all out of moves now. Chief Gant's done it again. How is it he always gets the upper hand? It's not fair he has the right to refuse to testify. Settle down, Wright. Remember what the judge said. But Chief, that is not a right to be casually invoked. There are certain risks to be considered. Risks? What did he mean by that? It's simple. If the chief refuses to testify, the opposite also holds true. You mean he forfeits his right to say anything, too? Oh, you mean he forfeits his right to say anything, too? I didn't expect to see Emma. Jeez. Emma, are you okay? Yeah. When I came to, I was in the medical office. I've been listening to the trial from the gallery. So she heard everything that's been going on. Emma, I'm sorry for what I said before. No, don't be. It was the truth. You know, it's funny. I almost feel somehow relieved. Relieved? Yeah. Now I finally know what really happened. Now I finally know what really happened. To think that all this time, my sister was being blackmailed by that terrible man. And she did it all just to protect me. Ever since her appointment as chief prosecutor, everyone who knew her said she changed. Perhaps it was easier that way for her. What do you mean? What do you think I mean? To follow Chief Gant's orders, she must have shut herself up deep inside. To force herself to do anything and everything the chief told her to do. That must be why she became so cold. It was all my fault. It's all because I murdered Mr. Marshall. Hey! Don't go blaming yourself now! If you want to blame anyone, blame society, pal! Chief Gant may be able to fool everyone else with his forgery, but he can't fool my memory. I remember now. I knocked Mr. Marshall into that armor. I see. Well, we better get back. It's time for the final act. Emma, why don't you wait here? No, I'm going with you. I want to be there when Lana tells the truth. Let's go, Wright. It's time to end this. Yeah! To be continued. Right now. Because holy cow, this is so many episodes! This trial has been... They're putting 3 episodes for this one. Oh no. Not 3 episodes. How many times has it said to be continued now? A lot. That's all I know. A lot. So much so they broke the final day up into 3 episodes. Jeez. Final day. Trial ladder 2. It's a long day of court for them. Oh, I did that. Here we go. February 25th, 2:21 p.m. District Court, courtroom number 9. Now then, will the defendant, Miss Lana Skye, please take the stand? Miss Lana Skye, you are the chief prosecutor. I'm sure you're aware of what is required of you. But Mr. Edgeworth, you already know everything. You know all that I've done these past 2 years. Please provide the court with your testimony, Miss Skye. And remember, you are under oath. We want to hear the truth. Of course. The truth. Lana, no matter what happens, I'll always be your sister. Now then, your testimony, if you will. First, tell us about your relationship with Chief Gant. Everything hinges on your testimony. You're the only chance we have to get Gant. Gant and the fabrication. I worked alongside Gant for years. There's no truth to this blackmail theory. I fabricated the evidence 2 years ago all by myself.
When I found Prosecutor Marshall's body, I rearranged the crime scene. My only motivation was to get Dark convicted. It had nothing to do with him.
All of that is a lie! Every last bit of it!
Are you sure about this testimony? Your Honor, I'm confessing to a capital offense. Of course I'm sure. But Lana!
If this is true, then that means Chief Gant has nothing to do with this.
That's what I've been telling you from the beginning. Let me cross-examine already! Please, Mr. Wright, you've got to help her! She's sacrificing herself because of me!
But what if she's telling the truth?
She's not! I know. There we go. She's not. I know my own sister. Whenever she speaks stiffly like that, she's hiding something inside.
Yeah, most people are. No one talks that stiffly.
Deep down, she's really screaming in agony.
Yeah. This is no time to start second-guessing myself.
Full steam ahead!
The defense may now begin its cross-examination.
Gant and the fabrication. Oh, dang it. I was short. I was trying to make it finish faster. Okay, here we go. Hold it. How many years exactly? Ever since I made senior detective. Let's see, I was 24 then. So that'd be 5 years.
Detective Gant and Detective Sky were legendary partners. I personally saw them testify in numerous cases.
She must have been good, coming from the same school as Mia. Damon Gant was a respectable detective. That's why there's no truth to this blackmail theory.
But think about it, Miss Sky. You didn't murder Detective Goodman. You told me as much yesterday in jail.
You still don't get it, Mr. Wright. Do you, Mr. Wright? Any testimony you cannot present in court is as useless as idle gossip. I stabbed Detective Goodman with a knife. And I fabricated the evidence 2 years ago all by myself.
Impossible.
Did you do so to help your sister? Joe Dark was a serial killer. My sister almost became his last victim that day. I didn't want that incident to ruin her life.
But what she did was justifiable self-defense. She wouldn't have been charged with anything.
That's not the point. She was traumatized that day, all because of that creep. That's why I couldn't forgive him. Lana!
So that's why you fabricated the evidence 2 years ago.
When I found Prosecutor Marshall's body, I rearranged the crime scene.
How? He's bigger than you! You say you did this all by yourself?
Yes.
Would you mind telling us what you found when you arrived at the crime scene?
It seems I was the first person to discover the scene. The broken prosecutor award knife.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. That's not what killed him. Now I'm really confused.
The broken prosecutor award knife was stuck in the victim's body.
What? I agree with Phoenix. What?
But Prosecutor Marshall died from an unfortunate accident. That's only a situation you dreamed as possible. The reality is, it wasn't my sister who took the prosecutor's life. Fantasize all you want, Mr. Wright, but I'll never change this statement.
You mean Prosecutor Marshall wound up being killed by Dark?
Something like that.
If that is so, what happened to the other murder weapon? Dark was carrying a switchblade knife.
Oh, that was lying on the floor a little distance away. It was probably knocked away in the struggle. That's not how it went down. She's trying to cover up her lies with more lies. Yeah, you think? All of this is wrong. It contradicts all of the... I can't even begin with the contradictions. First there were no contradictions. Now there's only contradictions. All just to protect me. So when you found this scene like this, what did you do? After all, this is what everything boils down to. Yes. I broke off the tip of Dark's knife, planted it inside the wound, then moved the body. Sorry, what? You planted the tip of Dark's knife in the victim's wound, and then you moved the body? But why? Why would you do that? No! Now we really don't! You say you were doing it to protect your sister, but now you weren't doing it to protect your sister. Why did you do it? I'm so confused! You of all people should know, Edgeworth. You've always had a good head on your shoulders. My head isn't that bad, but maybe I ought to ask for the sake of the others. Why'd you move the body? When you showed up on the scene, where exactly was the victim's body? It was where you deduced it was, by Chief Gant's desk. But the body was found by your desk. But the body was found by your desk. Why did you move it there? The reason for that is simple. Let's have the witness explain this in more detail. The reason Miss Sky moved the body. The pieces of the jar that shattered during the events threatened my plan. My only motivation was to get Dark convicted. It had nothing... Oh, hold on. Okay, hold on. Go to pressure for this again. I'm also gonna ask why she broke off the tip. Why'd you plant the knife? But why did you do that? Come now, Mr. Wright. Even you should be able to figure that out. Very well, let's add this to the witness' testimony. The reason this guy fabricated the knife. I knew the tip of the weapon found buried in his body would be all the proof we needed. Okay, so... grab this one. According to your testimony, Prosecutor Marshall's broken knife was the murder weapon, right? Yes. And leaving it at that might point the blame away from Dark. I felt the most effective way to get him convicted would be by having the tip of his knife found inside the victim's body. So you buried it inside the victim's stab wound? Yes. Because I hated Dark for what he did. My only motivation was to get Dark convicted. Oh wait, hold on. Wait. Her testimony changed. I gotta change it again. So I gotta go through this. My head's not that bad. Here we go. Move the body again. Ask her about this. Get her to change her testimony. So she moves the body and I can ask her about the jar. It doesn't keep everything there. So you gotta keep changing it about. Here we go. Pieces of the jar. You mean... Yes, that wretched jar you showed us earlier. In order to show that Dark committed the crime, I felt it would be more expedient to move the body. So, when you first found the body, the jar was already... Of course, it had been shattered to pieces. If you looked at the crime scene, it would be clear right away what happened. Neil Marshall was dead and Dark was lying unconscious. In other words, the jar must have been broken during the struggle. I see. the matter, Emma? Apparently the jar shattered at the time the crime was committed. But I have a feeling there's more to it than that. There must be a contradiction here somewhere.
Yeah, all of it! All of it is a contradiction!
Anyway, I committed this fabrication completely alone. My only motivation was to get Dark convicted, nothing to do with Emma.
So you rearranged the crime scene. Are you sure you didn't do this to keep Emma from looking like the murderer?
How many times do I have to tell you, Mr. Wright? Emma didn't do it. Period. Are you so desperate to hide that fact? You're willing to risk the death sentence? She's lying. She did it so I wouldn't be blamed for what happened. In any case, as a prosecutor, what I've done is unpardonable. There's nothing I can do to make up for my actions. Mr. Wright, my sister's lying. Looks like she's determined to protect you to the end. She insists she fabricated the evidence by herself. There's no way she could have done it alone. I've got to get Lana to talk more. If she's lying, then she's bound to slip up and make a contradiction. Okay, I've got to get her to talk more. Well, let me just pop that in the save slot and objection? Miss Sky, I understand how you feel. You committed that crime 2 years ago to protect your sister.
You mean the forgery at the scene where Neil Marshall was murdered?
If that truth were to be exposed now, the past 2 years of your life will have been in vain. Even so, I am compelled to bring to everyone's attention a significant contradiction within your testimony. A contradiction in my testimony? You testified, and I quote, "The pieces of the jar that shattered during the events threatened my plan." That's right.
Do you have a problem with that?
It's a simple oversight, really. You see, a message was written on this jar with the victim's blood. Yes, the prosecutor must have written it in his final moments.
Exactly so. And this is where the contradiction lies. In order for the victim to be able to write his message on the jar, it must not yet have been broken before he died. He couldn't have written Emma's name on a shattered jar. Duh. Order! Order! Your Honor, it would appear more information is needed in regard to this jar and its bloody message. We may be missing something critical here. Something critical? Chief Prosecutor, it seems you're as in the dark as we are about the truth towards which we're headed. What? Just tell us exactly what you saw. We'll piece together the information to arrive at the truth. Very well. The witness may now continue her testimony. Jar and message in blood. I immediately noticed the blood traces on the jar, but it was dark in the room and I didn't have time to check it out. To be safe, I wiped away the blood. The fragments were large, so I'm not sure I got them all. Oh, the fragments were large, so I'm sure I got them all. All I could think about was wiping them clean before they were discovered. You mean you were the one who wiped away the message in the blood? I wasn't chief prosecutor at the time. She didn't think Dark was the real murderer.
That's why she tried to erase the real evidence.
Very well. The defense may now begin its cross-examination.
Thank you. Let's get to it then. I immediately noticed the blood traces on the jar. Oh wait, hold on. Back. There we go.
So the jar was already broken?
It's a miracle that thing hadn't broken earlier.
It certainly looks as feasible as the defense's case. Oh. It certainly looks as feeble as the defense's case.
Hey! But not as feeble as the judge's judgment.
You were an ace detective who never missed a detail. Do you really expect us to believe you didn't investigate what was written on the jar pieces?
Normally I would have. But it was dark in the room and I didn't have time to check it out.
You had time to move a body? 2 bodies?
So you didn't know your sister's name was written on the jar? No. If I had known, I would have gathered all the pieces and ground them to dust.
Well, that helps my case.
Great. Thanks, Lana. Lana, you do that for me?
It seems you two might make up yet.
Anyway, I just barely had enough time to move the body as it was.
If someone happened upon the scene, you'd lose your chance to erase the evidence. You must have been in a hurry.
I was. I knew I had to destroy the evidence before anyone came.
This is rather shocking.
Judge, you're always shocked. To be safe, I wiped away the blood.
Using what?
I'm afraid this action of yours reveals what really happened.
What do you mean?
If you really thought Dark killed Prosecutor Marshall, you wouldn't have wiped away the blood. What else could I have done in that situation? Lana.
Okay, so she didn't think Dark had killed Prosecutor Neil Marshall. But she also didn't think that Lana had.
There's only one reason she would have done it then. Wait a minute. I only had a few moments. There wasn't enough time for me to do anything else but gather up the pieces. The fragments were large, so I'm sure I got them all. But how could you see with the power out? It should have been pitch black in that office. A detective is always prepared, Mr. Wright. Even now, I always carry a pocket light and a camera with me. Even I carry a bottle of emergency luminol wherever I go. I never miss anything. I got every last piece. All I could think about was wiping them clean before they were discovered.
So you illegally rearranged the crime scene?
Yes. I don't have any excuse for my actions. I'm so sorry, Lana. I didn't know. I've treated you so badly all this time. It's not too late. There's still plenty of time to make up. After we've gotten to the bottom of this incident.
No doubt this day will leave a permanent stain on the history of the prosecutor's office.
More contradictions have surfaced in her testimony. Your sister's really putting up a fight. She must really care about you. Still, she's not doing this the right way. I think I finally figured out the contradictions in her testimony.
You have?
I'm still working on it. There's one final possibility that might turn everything around. Just the jar and wiping things clean. just the jar. But it's 2 years ago. I have a picture and I have a jar. Wait a minute. Made sure to get them all, you say? I don't think you did! Miss Sky, I believe this jar conceals a truth even you were unaware of. What? We found the final piece of this jar. Chief Gant was there before her! Of course, that's it! I mean, obviously, that's it. I know Chief Gant did it somehow. It was obvious the moment she said that the dagger from the trophy was in the detective and not the detective on the armor. We found the final piece of this jar in Chief Gant's safe. In Chief Gant's safe? But how? I knew it. She really didn't know. There's something even more disturbing about that final piece. There was still blood on it. But the witness just testified that she gathered every last piece and wiped the blood off of them. Yes, which leaves us with only one explanation. On the night the prosecutor Marshall was murdered, you were the first one. You were not the first one to show up on the scene. Chief Gant got there before you. But couldn't the defendant have simply missed a piece? I'm afraid that's unlikely. The pieces are too big for anyone to miss, let alone an ace detective. That may well be, but everyone makes mistakes. Even I once wasted an entire day. That's not a mistake, that's just wasting time. Oh, looking for my dentures. There, that makes more sense. They were in my mouth all along. Can you imagine that? Have you forgotten, Your Honor, that we're in a case trial? When this witness arrived at the scene, the jar was already broken. Oh, that! There's no way a name could have been written on a shattered jar. Another person discovered the scene prior to the witness. I hope you're not implying this person was Chief Gant. At the time, he was looking for Dark downstairs. Besides, even if he was there first, why would he break the jar? The question is, if he did arrive there first, why did he hide that fact for 2 years? Oh. Well, Your Honor, can you answer that for us? No! No! I can't! Wait, I'm not the one on trial here. Yeah. Why is he so dumb? He's a judge! No! Wait, why am I'm not on trial. Damon Gant arrived at the crime scene prior to the witness. He proceeded to break the jar and purposefully hid one of the broken pieces. Question: what is this action called? Fabrication of evidence. But why would Chief Gant do that? In light of what happened afterwards, isn't it clear? What happened afterwards? Discovering the scene, Lana Skye believed her sister Emma killed the victim. Determined to help her sister, she sought Gant's aid. Lending her his aid, Gant helped her create evidence that incriminated Dark, sparing Emma. And therein lies the reason. The reason why Miss Sky became the chief's puppet. No! I did it on my own! Please, sis, stop trying to protect the chief! I can't watch you suffer anymore for my sake! No, you didn't! It wasn't you, Emma! You didn't kill anyone! Don't believe anything Mr. Wright says! Defense attorneys make up the most foul lies to defend their clients. Foul lies? Imagine that coming from my own client. I guess you do seem like the type who likes to twist the truth. What? Wait a minute. What if we're still smack dab in the middle of Gant's trap? Is something wrong, Mr. Wright? Lana, maybe Wright after all. What do you mean, Wright? Yeah, what do you mean, Wright? So you do tell foul lies then, Mr. Wright? No. Miss Sky, please testify once more. But if evidence was fabricated behind your back, then Emma's accidental killing of Prosecutor Marshall might also be a lie. But I do remember knocking over Mr. Marshall. Miss Sky, if you will. I can't. There's nothing to be afraid of anymore. Be confident. This cross-examination may not change a thing. However, there is a possibility that it will, if you tell the truth. Very well. I'll testify about what I really saw. All right. The witness may testify once more for the final time. Oh, thank goodness. Final time. Wow. This has gone on a long time. Actual crime scene. When I arrived, I found Mr. Marshall's body impaled on that suit of armor's sword. Emma and Dark were lying unconscious on the floor nearby. When I saw what had happened, I thought she did it. That's why I erased all the evidence that linked her to the murder. I had Chief Gant help me remove the body from the sword and carry it. That makes more sense. But if it all really was a fabrication, Emma might be innocent. Unbelievable. The body was impaled on the armored sword? We already established that! This is already well established! Why are you surprised? You were the only one who saw that. If only you had proof. Actually, I do have proof. Remember, she always carries a small camera with her as well as a small light. What? You do? I gave it to Mr. Wright just this morning. What? To me? It's a picture I took of the crime scene as I encountered it. I thought it might be needed. But I don't remember receiving a picture like that. Lana must have known. See, Mr. Wright? She really does have faith in you. Very well, Mr. Wright. Please present this picture. Well, there's only one thing. I don't remember receiving any pictures from Lana. Lana said she gave it to you this morning, right? I seem to remember getting something from her then. Let's check that evidence again. There must be a picture in there somewhere. I can check it. Check it. I got a book. Oh! I got a picture. Ah! Bloody. Hey! There's a picture here. If only I'd looked in the book. Oh. Oh my. Wow. That's a lot bloodier than the original imagining led us to believe. This is the actual crime scene. No other detective saw the crime scene like this. Because I contacted Criminal Affairs only after I had to rearrange everything. Crime scene photo from the case 2 years ago taken. Lana's picture inserted into the court record. Mr. Wright! That piece cut out from his vest. Could that be... Yeah. The cloth he found inside Chief Kent's safe. What's this? What's this? This is a handprint, isn't it? Your handprint. That cloth. It had fingerprints on it. Whose ever fingerprints those are must be the real murderer. What? What are those fingerprints? They're yours, Emma. Why are your lips turning purple, Mr. Wright? Anyway, let's get on with the cross-examination. So long as you tell the truth, we should be able to flush out the real murderer. Very well. The defense may now begin its cross-examination. Thank you. Actual crime scene cross-examination. This took a while. Never mind. Hold it. I've been interrupted. Can't? Come now, you forfeited your rights! Come now, Ajit. This is the poorest excuse for a trial I've ever seen. Also, I thought you went to lunch! Chief Kent! What? Now you want to make me out as the bad guy too? If so, I'd like to put in a word or two in my defense. I'm afraid it's too late for that. What? You already declined to testify. That means you forfeited your right to make statements of any sort. This must be that risk we were talking about earlier. Just sit back and relax. And enjoy the sound of the noose tightening around your own neck. I don't know what sound that is. That's the best I could do for that one. Ah, so what? You think I'm worried? Yeah, that reaction implies you're very worried. Sorry to disappoint you, but I don't need to make any statements. What do you mean? The evidence will do all the talking for me. Even if I can't testify, I can still present evidence. Yes, that's true. Wait, you mean you still have some conclusive evidence? No, I don't. But someone does. Someone? So, what's your excuse, Rido? What do you mean? Why have you been keeping quiet about it? What, the Badger? Well, it's kind of creepy, but I mean, I don't think it's really conclusive. You do have something to show us, right? Again, I really don't think the Badger's what I need to be showing right now. Something that proves who knocked over Neil Marshall, causing his death. Conclusive evidence that leaves no room for doubt. Is this true, Mr. Wright? If I show that piece of evidence now, Emma's sure to be made out as the murderer. I can't say. Now I can. Mr. Wright, if you have any more evidence, present it now. And if you try to conceal... say... anything, you will be the one appearing before the Board of Inquiries. Okay, I can... or inquiries. Yeah, Board of Inquiries. The Board of Inquiries. do now? I better think this through carefully. I can't afford to make the wrong decision. Should I present that piece of evidence? The one that shows who really killed Prosecutor Marshall? Sorry, I'm also kind of jamming out to this groove. It's pretty cool. Well, that's the question. For those who are unaware, I have this piece of leather. Well, they say cloth, but I think it's leather. It's a handprint. Someone left behind an oil stain on the fabric. Wait, oil stain? Whoever it was, they must have had a really oily hand. Mr. Wright, think about it scientifically. Huh? A more likely explanation is the person slipped and fell on a freshly waxed floor, getting wax all over their hand. Well, that would account for this amount of oil, I guess. I don't see what's so scientific about it, though. It happens, you know? I always slip on the floors at school after they're waxed. Ah, crud. Wait. A waxed floor. Okay, let me show the evidence then. Both are bad! Yes, Your Honor. I do have further evidence. Alright, the time's finally come to show it to them. Those prints have got to be the Chief's. Now then, let's see this conclusive evidence. The evidence. Okay, yeah. You want to see the evidence. You want to see the evidence. That's the evidence. It's a piece of leather cloth. Yes, it most likely was cut from the victim's chest. A vest near his chest. What's this? There's a big handprint on it. Surely it must have been left on the cloth by whoever shoved the victim into the sword. What? Whose fingerprints are on this? I'm sure Raito has checked. Haven't you? Well, whose are they? They're Miss Skies. Miss Emma Skies. What? They're mine? So I really did do it. See? I told you it was conclusive. Not really. But this was found in your safe. That means it's possible you forged it. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't remember any cloth in my safe. Do you really expect me to believe that? Yes! But
Give it up, Mr. Wright. It's over. Why are you throwing it in? You shouldn't have presented. Okay, fine. Okay. Fine. Let me not present it. Cannot show the evidence. Your Honor, I don't have any evidence I can present at this point in time. What? You lie! You can't? You opened my safe! There we go. Okay, I get it. I can't present the evidence, forcing him to tell the truth. You opened my safe! I know you took what was inside! The conclusive evidence. I don't know what you're talking about. Mr. Wright, why don't you show them? We found it together. Oh, I see. It's because you know the truth, don't you? You know whose fingerprints are on it. That's why you won't present it. What are you talking about? Chief Gant! Can't you figure it out? Take a good look at this picture. See the victim's vest? Notice anything odd about the chest area? Okay, apparently what I had to do was let him confess to everything because he knows I took the thing. It looks like part of it's been cut for some... Oh, sorry. It looks like part of it's been cut for some reason. You mean you had this? In your safe? What? That means you, the chief of police, have been concealing evidence! This is going to be the biggest scandal of the history of the police department! Sorry, I gotta do that a little louder, because 3 exclamation marks. This is going to be the biggest scandal in the history of the police department! Impressive. To be honest, I didn't think you had the gall, Righto. Well, I can't just let you pin me up as the murderer. I'll tell you what really happened. What? You mean you admit to it? I was the first person to arrive at the crime scene that day. It then occurred to me that I could use the situation to control Lana. So you really were manipulating her! I knew Lana. If I made it look like the blame lay with her sister, that when she saw the scene, she would ask me for... Okay, sorry, that's a weird sentence. That when she saw the scene, she would ask me for my aid. So you assisted Miss Sky. Sorry. So you assisted Miss Sky. It's hard jumping through all these voices by myself. It's confusing sometimes. I told her to rearrange all the evidence. I had her plant the knife tip in the victim's body and move the body across the room. And I ended up using that evidence to get Joe Dark convicted. Convicted. Ah, dang it. I have trouble with Edgeworth most of all for some reason. And I ended up using that evidence to get Joe Dark convicted. When I tampered with the crime scene, I had 2 pieces of evidence. This was before Lana arrived at the scene, mind you. 2 pieces of evidence? You mean those items in your safe? But why? For insurance, of course. Insurance? I was sure my plan would work, but it's always best to be prepared for the worst. I wasn't about to let anyone blame me for a murder that girl committed. You mean we're calculating that far ahead while forging the evidence? What do you take me for, a fool? I didn't make police chief by dumb luck. See this jar fragment?
I hid the most legible part of Emma's name. I didn't expect Lana to go and wipe the blood off all the pieces. But if you fabricated all the evidence, what's to say you didn't fabricate the message on this jar too? Ho, ho, ho. Some people just don't know when to quit, do they? That's why I kept one more item for insurance. You mean that piece of cloth? Come on, Righto. Cough it up already. I know you have it. Well, he's already admitted. What are you waiting for, Mr. Wright? So you admit to it then, Chief Gant. That you were hiding the cloth you cut off the victim's vest in your safe. Yes, I admit it. I didn't want to have to do that being chief at all. But it's a lot better than being portrayed as a murderer.
Well, Mr. Wright, what do you have to say for yourself? Just a moment ago you said you didn't have any evidence you could present.
Foolish move, Righto. You should have shown it then before it was too late. It's been a long battle. But the moment of truth has finally arrived. As long as I don't mess up here, victory's mine. Save. Okay, now I can show the evidence. Your Honor, I do have evidence to present now.
Alright then, let's see this conclusive evidence. The evidence that shows who actually murdered Prosecutor Marshall.
That's why Wright said I don't have any at this time. Let me verify this once more. On the day of the crime, you personally cut out this piece of the victim's vest? Oh yes! At last, you finally brought it out into the open. There's a handprint on this piece of cloth. Your Honor, the prosecution requests that be immediately sent to the lab for analysis. This handprint on the leather. There must have been a strong impact for it to have been left so clearly. You mean, it could not have been forged. It must be authentic, conclusive evidence. Ho ho ho. You're as slow on the uptake as ever, Worthy. What? Think about it. Righto had all this time to present this evidence. Yet he was reluctant to do so. Why would that be? You mean you already know? You know whose fingerprints are on that. Mr. Wright, do you really know?
Whoever the fingerprints belong to must be the real murderer. Whose fingerprints are there?
Okay, is this the mistake again? That's why I saved. Very well, I'll tell you. It should be okay now. Everything's proceeding as predicted. The person to whom these fingerprints belong to is... I mean, the fingerprints, yeah, they belong to Emma Sky.
Emma? Emma Sky?
What? They're mine? I'm sorry, Emma. But why? Why didn't you tell me? Oh, 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 oh! You're really something, Righto. You knew this girl did it all along, and you still tried to pin the murder on me.
So it's true. Tragic, but true. This girl really did shove Prosecutor Marshall to his death.
Hold it! How could you? You monster!
Miss Sky?
You knew whose fingerprints were there all along! But those were all along, yet you acted like she really didn't. Miss Sky, it's not over yet. What? I said this trial isn't over yet. Ha! But I'm afraid it is over, boy. Not only this trial,
but your career too. You purposely concealed this conclusive evidence. That, my friend, is a serious offense. I'm looking forward to pressing charges after the defendant is convicted. I'll have your badge, boy. I've got evidence law on my side. What's the matter? Cat got your tongue. Aren't you going to tell us how it feels? How it feels to be the one who single-handedly turned a poor little girl into a murderer. I'm just letting you talk. Before I do that, there's just one little thing I have to clear up. Oh, and what's that? Who really killed Prosecutor Neil Marshall? What? Chief Gant, you are absolutely right. This piece of cloth proves who the real murderer is. Who killed Neil Marshall, you ask? It was Emma Sky, wasn't it? I'm afraid that's not possible. You see, this piece of cloth contains a critical contradiction. What? A contradiction? Hold on. It does? Do it? Huh. Apparently it does. What? A contradiction? What is this fool babbling about? I'm talking about a contradiction. One that proves who the real killer is. Mr. Wright, this piece of cloth. What could it possibly contradict? Chief Gant, your tyrannical reign ends here. Behold, the piece of evidence that contradicts this cloth. Kudos to Wright, because I didn't see anything, and I didn't get a chance to save. Oh, crud. I gotta get it right. Oh, man. I have an idea to get a save point, but I'm gonna have to take a hit first. I gotta be honest. I don't know what Wright sees. I don't know, guys. So I need to get my save point. I'm gonna present this. Oh, ho, ho, ho.
Here, I'm gonna get my save point here. It's fun watching you squirm, Righto. This piece of evidence does indeed seem to contradict something. Your outward appearance of mental sanity. Thank you. I am crazy. Because I presented a book. What am I doing? There we go. I don't know where my last option to save will be. This cloth was cut from Prosecutor Marshall's vest after he died. Ah, you're right. I'm so dumb. You're the only one who can put an end to this, Wright. Oh, you're the only one who can put an end to this, Wright. Chief Gant, your tyrannical reign ends here. Behold, piece of evidence that contradicts this cloth. I just realized what it is. It just occurred to me because he said, "What's missing in this picture?" Can you see it? Because I see it now. It happens to be right where the hole in the cloth is. What exactly is this supposed to be? This is the picture Miss Sky took. Take a good look at it. See where the piece of his vest was cut out? Yes. His shirt is showing underneath. It's hard to make out with all the blood on his vest, though. Exactly my point. His chest is soaked with blood. That's only natural. His lungs, no doubt, were punctured. Blood poured out of his mouth. Oh, but that piece of cloth has no blood on it. I just realized that, yeah. Wait, but there's no blood on it. Ah! Since Emma Sky's fingerprints are on this cloth, there's no doubt that she shoved the prosecutor aside. However, Mr. Marshall was not impaled on the sword at that time. No! This is nonsense! Now then, Chief Gant, let me ask you something. Prosecutor Marshall was not impaled when he was shoved aside. He most likely hit his head on the ground and was knocked out. If so, then tell me, who could it have been? Who could have arrived at the scene before Miss Lana Sky? Picked up the unconscious prosecutor and impaled him on the armor's sword. Then, to make it look like Emma was responsible for the prosecutor's death, said person proceeded to write her name on the jar with the victim's blood. A jar that they then broke on purpose to leave behind a clue. And make Lana believe her sister did it. Remember what you admitted only moments ago? That you personally cut out this bloodless piece of the victim's vest. Yeah. Bloodless piece of the victim's vest. Okay, I could say that. I proved I could say that sentence. Ironic, isn't it? Through the very act of creating insurance, you proved that you were the actual murderer. No! It's finally all over. Objection! That was close, Rhino. You almost had me. Sorry, but you'll have to do better than that. I refute your allegations. What do you mean you refute his allegations? You see, that piece of cloth is illegal evidence. I have evidence, law book. Order. What is this nonsense? Illegal evidence cannot be used to convict the suspect.
Remember, Aji? Earlier, old Wright here concealed that piece of cloth. So then, what's your excuse, Righto? Do you have some conclusive evidence? You do have some conclusive evidence, don't you? Your Honor, I don't have any evidence I can present at this point in time. Well, that's true. The defense did refuse to present evidence. That moment, that piece of cloth ceased to be legal evidence. But that's not fair! Ooh, ooh, ooh. Did you actually think you could best me in court? It looks like the last laugh's on you, son. The last laugh is mine, but it's on you. I'm afraid Mr. Gant's claim is legally correct. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, true. Illegal evidence cannot be used to convict a person. Assuming, of course, that the evidence is indeed illegal. Well, Mr. Wright? It seems, at last, the time for me to reveal my plan has finally arrived. Mr. Wright, do you admit it? That you purposely and illegally concealed this piece of cloth? I will save. I did not! I admit, I refused to present it at one point. So the evidence is illegal. Objection, your chiefness. No, it isn't, Mr. Gant. Huh? It's not that I didn't present evidence then. It's that I couldn't. What do you mean you couldn't? There are certain procedures involved when presenting evidence. No, Aji, don't listen to his lies! He's nothing but a coward! You can't really believe! There is only one issue left to be resolved in this trial. Is this evidence legal or not? Very well, let us settle this once and for all. Earlier you refused to present evidence. If you can prove your conduct was not in violation of the law, then do so now. Yes, indeed. It's this. I have evidence law book. This is my proof, Your Honor. The most ridiculous-looking evidence law book ever. Why is there a detective duck on the... Why is there Duck-tective on the cover? Look at that! It's Duck-tective! I just got that! Duck-tective before Duck-tective. Clearly, the creators of a certain show loved Ace Attorney. This is my proof, Your Honor. Evidence law. What's this? I've done my homework too, Chief. Indeed, Emma Sky's fingerprints were on this piece of cloth. However, at that point in time, this was merely a piece of cloth. Nothing more. What? You see, it's written right here in this book. The second rule of evidence law. Rule 1. No evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. I found this piece of evidence myself, inside your safe. It goes without saying I did not have approval from the police department. Rule 2. Unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial. And here is the crux of the matter. You see, at the time, it was impossible for me to prove the relevance between the cloth and the SL9 incident. What? What kind of nonsense is this? You want relevancy? Just take one look at this picture and... Sorry, but can you recall when was that picture presented? That was shown only a few moments ago. No! He's right. At the beginning of today's trial, that piece of cloth was still meaningless.
The person who gave it value as evidence was you, Damon Gant. You yourself confess to a certain truth. Let me verify this once more. On the day of the crime, you personally cut out this piece of the victim's vest?
Oh, yes! No!
It was then that you approved this cloth as conclusive evidence. Yes, you, the chief of police, personally approved this cloth. The only person who could have cut this from the victim's vest is the one who stood before Prosecutor Marshall in his final moments. In other words, the real murderer. And there's only one person who that could be. Damon Gant! The killer was you. The only question is, why? I knew I should have gotten rid of him. That good-for-nothing scum. For 2 years, he's been snooping around that apartment, trying to get something on me. Crimes are being committed every day, yet he insisted on hounding me. Well, your crime wasn't exactly petty. He wanted to reinvestigate the case. He recruited Angel Star, then convinced Bruce Goodman. Detective Goodman?
Yeah, that's right. If the evidence is transferred, I'll lose my only chance to find out the truth.
Please, you've got to help me.
Goodman turned him down, as he ought to. Still, Jake Marshall didn't know when to quit. He stole Goodman's ID card and tried to take the evidence. Goodman came to me that day. He wanted to file a lost item report. I went with him to the evidence room. Then all of a sudden he decided to speak out! What are you talking about, Goodman?
Can you please reopen the investigation, Chief? We can't transfer the evidence out. There are too many questions left unanswered.
He opened his evidence locker, and as he was taking the evidence out, he said,
"It's not too late. I'm going to hand all this over to Marshall."
Well, to be honest, I was a bit taken aback by his words. I had a bad feeling when he came to see me, but I never thought he'd bring up SL9. That's when I saw it. That accursed knife. I couldn't just pull it out. Doing so would have only led to more blood, making it near impossible to hide your crime. Even so, the blood was just pouring out. I didn't know who might stumble in, so I hurried to wipe it up. I was worrying so much about the floor, I didn't realize my fatal mistake. The bloody handprint on Detective Gumshoe's locker. I used to be known as the crime computer, but everyone has to start somewhere, I guess. I was too nervous. I had no business doing any of it. Then you put the body in my car.
I'm sorry. I couldn't think of any other way to move the body. I broke your trunk, but what's the big deal? You make a lot more than us detectives ever will. You have a pipe organ in your... I don't buy that for an instant. Grr. Leaving the prosecution's car aside, how? How could you get Miss Sky involved in all of this? Well, she had as much to lose as I did if the truth came out. So you took the evidence from Detective Goodman's locker? I felt bad for having to do it. I also didn't have the time to pick and choose what to take. So, you left the jar fragments and the glove. Yeah. It looks like I was better off being an investigator of crimes than a committer. They all did their best to get in my way. I've got to hand it to them. They do their jobs well, much to my dismay. Fake evidence doesn't hold up very well upon close examination. You must have known that. Tell me, Worthy, why do you stand in court? Me? You despise criminals. I can feel it. You and me, we're the same. One day you'll understand. Oh, believe me, you will. You're just one man. You'll see what it really takes to bring them down once you try to go it alone. Why'd you kill Marshall? Well, looks like it's time to say goodbye. Oh, Udgy. What? Looks like we'll have to cancel that lunch date. Sorry, old friend. I'm sorry too, Jacob Kent. I don't get it. Why'd he kill Marshall? Seriously, why? I knew you as you used to be, long ago. You were once a fine investigator, and an example to others on the force. I'm sorry to learn that you are no longer that person. Those days are gone now, Udgy. Thanks for all the memories, though. Don't worry, you'll be fine. Now you have Righto here. And Worthy. With these two around, you can't go wrong. In fact, I can hear them already. The melodious sound of a new beginning.
Did he really do all of that and even kill a man just to get her blackmailed? There are two things I want you to understand. Yes? First, your sister never hurt anyone. Second, Damon Gant betrayed you from the beginning. You see, Miss Sky, you no longer have any reason to keep silent. You're right. When this trial is over, I'll tell everything. All that I've done these past 2 years. From the time I had Gant help me forge evidence, up until today. So, it seems all the questions raised in this trial have been answered. Except motive, but sure. I'm sorry, Miss Sky. I couldn't get you out of all your trouble. My. What high standards you have. For a rookie. I can see why Mia thought so highly of you. Who knows? A few years from now, you just might make it to the top. Hey, she smiled! I owe you my thanks, Mr. Wright. Miss Sky. And to you too, Mr. Edgeworth. You suffered every bit as much as I have over these past few days. Believe me, I know how much of an ordeal it's been for you.
It was nothing.
Liar. I was worried the pressure might break you, and yet you rose above it all and guided Mr. Wright to victory. You've done well, Mr. Edgeworth.
Stop it! I only did my job. I don't like praise. In light of this case, it seems good self-examining is in order for all of us. Miss Sky,
Yes, Your Honor.
you are innocent of murder. However, although the chief blackmailed you, the fact is you still acted as his accomplice. A trial will be scheduled for these crimes at a later date.
Yes, I understand, Your Honor.
That is a good point. She did break the law. So being blackmailed does usually lead to a lighter sentence, but she did break the law. Is there something amusing? Like, usually the judge takes sympathy in cases of the guy was blackmailed of something. It's sometimes just a little bit of it's weird. It usually depends on the judge. It's very iffy. Is there something amusing about all this? Why are you smiling?
It's been a long time, Your Honor. A long time since I felt free of these heavy chains.
The truth shall set you free. Well, this trial has gone on far too long already. Regarding this charge of murder, this court finds the defendant, Miss Lana Sky, not guilty. Confetti! That is all. This court is adjourned. February 25th, 5:03 p.m. My gosh. They actually did an entire workday this time. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 2. At long last. It's finally over. That was a long one. Emma? Why the long face?
I'm sorry your sister didn't get completely off the hook. But at least she wasn't convicted for a murder she didn't commit. No, that's not it. Just now, after the trial ended, I could see why Mia Fey thought so highly of you. I owe you my thanks, Mr. Wright. And to you too, Mr. Edgeworth. You suffered every bit as much as I have over these past few days. You've done well. You know, I did my best too, but Lana didn't say a single word to me.
Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals. You are, but that's been par for the course for today. You just don't have anything to do, dude. You need to get your job back. Go get your job back. Oh. Yes, I am. I'll come back later. That's the third time you've done this. Wait, Detective Gumshoe. What is it? You're doing this on purpose, aren't you? Making the detective run all around while on duty. And to top it all off, you call me here. I've seen happier people at funerals. Again? Really? Hey, lighten up, pals. I'm only kidding.
Oh, are you here because of my sister again?
Nope, not this time. I came today because of you, pal.
Me?
That's right. I thought you'd like to see someone. Hey! Lana! Should you be doing this? She's still under arrest, you know. Well, I won't tell if you won't. He's a good guy.
Emma, I owe you an apology. It's okay, sis. Don't worry about it. That day, 2 years ago. Was the first time in my life I ever panicked. It was all I could do to keep myself from screaming. All I could think was keeping you from getting wrapped up in that mess. Sis, I asked Gant to help me cover up the truth. I thought I was doing it for your sake. But now, I realize I was wrong. I changed after that day. I had to. It was the only way I could make it through the past 2 years. I knew how much I was hurting you by distancing myself. But I couldn't bring myself to tell you what I did. I was scared. Scared that you look at me with those eyes of yours. I was scared of how you'd react if you knew. But sis, you were only doing it for me. No. Huh? I turned my back on you that day. In hiding what I believed to be the truth, I was deceiving you. Sis, I'm such a fool. It took me all this time to realize it. Emma, I'm so sorry. But sis, you don't have to apologize. I'm happy now. You're happy? Of course. You know, sis, I always knew that one day you'd come back. And now you have. Oh, Emma. Emma. Aww. They get a big hug. That's nice. No one can change the past. The only thing we can do is strive to make up for our mistakes. Why must we make up for our mistakes, you ask? Because in so doing, we can find the way back to our rightful path. And it is from there that we can move on toward a brighter future. Aww. At least, that's what I felt watching the two sisters make up. Mr. Wright, Mr. Gumshoe.
Me?
Thank you both for all that you've done. I'm sure we'll meet again someday.
Ooh, okay. I didn't know you came back in the later episode.
Isn't that right, Edgeworth?
Edgeworth?
Stop hiding and come over here.
Glowery. Where was he hiding?
I just came to say... congratulations. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth.
Right. Well, I'll be going now.
Mr. Edgeworth, I hope you don't blame yourself for what happened. We were the ones who acted corruptly, not you.
It's too late for me. No matter what anyone may say, I realize today that I can't correct my mistakes.
Mr. Edgeworth.
Not only that, but I don't even trust myself anymore. Chief Gant was right. You despise criminals. I can feel it. You and me, we're we're the same. You could say even cut from the same cloth. One day you'll understand. Oh, believe me, you will. You're just one man. You'll see what it really takes to bring them down once you try to go it alone.
I do despise criminals. I plan to dedicate my entire life to fighting them. But in order to fight crime on my own, I'd need a weapon. It's scary, but I've known that to be true for quite some time now. But Edgeworth, who knows? Given enough time, I might have tried to pull something like Chief Gant did. Excuse me. That thought terrifies me. That's why I can't continue on as a prosecutor. Edgeworth, don't you understand? Damon Gant and your mentor, Manfred von Karma, were both the best of the best when it came to fighting crime. But they both made the same mistake. You said in order to fight crime on my own, I'd need a weapon. That may be true, but think back to today's trial. You weren't alone. Yay! You were working together with Mr. Wright. And because of that partnership, you were able to present evidence that otherwise would have gone undiscovered. Isn't that right, Mr. Wright?
Huh? What? Oh, yeah. What is this, a pop quiz? Come on, Mr. Wright, show him what Lana's talking about.
Evidence, huh? Something that neither Edgeworth nor I would have been able to find on our own.
Of course, the Blue Badger!
No, it can't be the Blue Badger.
What did we both find today?
I guess this. That might mean something to you, but I don't see how it has to do with our partnership. Huh? That's right. Seems you still have a lot to learn as well. Everyone's the right piece of evidence. Okay, fine. Load. Yes. Okay, hold on. Neither Edgeworth nor I would have been able to find on our own. On our own. Huh?
That's the picture I drew. Right, two halves of a whole. That makes sense.
Our counterattack began with this. You had one half of the evidence list, and I had the other. Apart, we wouldn't have been able to completely restore Emma's picture. That didn't just happen by chance, Mr. Edgeworth. It's time for me to go. Mr. Edgeworth, if you'll excuse me, there are still some loose ends that need wrapping up. Take care, Chief Prosecutor.
Edgeworth! What will you do now?
Well, whatever you do, just remember. You can let what happened kill the prosecutor in you, or you can let it help you grow. In the end, it's up to you. I know. It seems I owe you my thanks too, right? But what I face now is my problem. Edgeworth, I've been waiting for you in court. Farewell. I'd better be going too. Okay. But I'll be by to visit soon. It seems we both have a lot to learn and catching up to do. Hey, look! It's a scientific investigation. What's up with all these ducks?
All these duck detectives.
Here, this is a little something for you. Scientific investigation! It's the first book I ever bought. Study it well. Thanks, sis! I will! And so another case came to a close. As for the sisters, I have faith. Faith that their lives have only just begun. Aww. And as for me, I think it's time I started on a new journey of my own. A journey to rediscover myself.
Well, don't go trekking off just yet, pal. Was I talking out loud to myself? Huh? Huh? What is it, detective? There's just a little matter to be resolved about the chief prosecutor. You see, she isn't supposed to be out of jail like this.
But I thought you said it was okay.
Yeah, well, it may be okay with me, but the folks at the prison are a different story.
Huh?
Basically, I had to bribe a guard in order to sneak her out for 30 minutes. Believe me, it wasn't cheap either.
Huh? Way to go, detective. I didn't know you had a wild side.
Yeah, well, you see, Mr. Wright here's the one who... Oh, Mr. Wright's the one who will be footing the bill.
Huh? Huh?
What, you think I can afford it with my salary? You gotta be kidding me, pal.
Huh? Thank you, Mr. Wright. You're the best.
Why is it? I suddenly feel like I want to scream.
Hey, I got an idea. Why don't we all go pay it off together? Yeah, that's a great idea. Come on, guys. Let's go.
Objection!
Hey, cool credits, guys.
It's all fingerprinting dust.
I arranged for a friend of mine in Europe to take care of Emma. I'm actually pleased to study at a top corner. As for me, this affair has pretty much ended my days at the prosecutor's office. Still, I'll manage to find my way back in the field somehow. Then I'll be able to investigate crimes together with Emma.
Oh man, this is gonna be fast reading. They're going fast through this. Yikes! I thought I was a goner for a moment there. In the end, though, they overlooked my unauthorized investigation of the chief's office. If we penalized you anymore, it'd be worse than firing you. Yep, that's what they said. Just goes to show, you can't shake me off that easily. Dude, get your salary back. You make no money. Oh, that was fun. So I guess that is it for the first game. Up next... Oh, wait. My new mission is to guard the main entrance and take care of something. Can you believe it? I've been demoted to security guard. My partner's keeping an eye on the entrance for me today. I'll show them, though. Someday I'm going to make detective. Yes, sir. Then I can be just like Dick Gumshoe! What, working as a detective for basically no pay? What, are you gonna tell me what you've been up to? Still creepy. Ah, broke! This is a pretty chill groove.
What is it? Can't you see I'm in a showdown with something? Miss Star managed to sneak this into me. Look how... Looks like you did it. You even gave Bambina her back her smile. Can you make sure Billy and the gang get their water? Okay, so basically he was saying what? I'm busy shaving. Can't you see that? With this knife. She snuck it in for me. She's pretty cool. Like, wait. She snuck a knife into prison? Looks like I won't be seeing each other for a while. As a farewell gift, I put a new meal on the menu. The Right Way lunch. The top lawyer tastes as bitter as defeat, but the bottom lawyer is as sweet as victory. Top layer and bottom layer. It seemed to dig the turnabout theme. Okay. Just make sure not to eat it backwards. Yeah. I'll never forget what that young defense lawyer said after the trial. Let's see, what was his name again? Mr. Left? Anyway, he said he's been doing something or other for, how many years? Well, anyway, I've got another trial to get to, so I better be. Huh? Oh no, I forgot my gavel! Sorry, gotta go! Wow, he's in charge of deciding people's futures. Seriously, catch your groove, guys. Hey, Maya! Nothing soothes the soul like fresh country air. Sometimes I do miss hearing the word objection. Still, I can't go back until I've a full-fledged spirit medium. Mystic Maya, afternoon training's about to begin. Coming! Well, see you around, Nick. Bum 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 bum. I've tried my hand at 8-bit music before. It is fun. 8-bit and 16-bit. It's just really difficult because you're so critical of yourself. You're like, nah, that's just a repeating rhyme, a rhythm. And then you forget that that's what music is. Mr. Edgeworth. Mr. Edgeworth, I brought you your tea. What's going on? Interesting. He left behind a letter. So what happens next? Thanks for coming to see me off. I can't believe I'm going to Europe. Thank you, Mr. Wright. Thank you so much for everything. I'm a little sad, but I'll be alright. Whenever I want to see Lana, all I have to do is open this book. Oh. Aww. So precious. Precious memories. I can't skip this. So, I tried. I did try to move forward. Achievement unlocked. Rise from the ashes. Capcom. Registered trademark. Cool beans. I'd say those beans are frosty. That was Finish Right, Ace Attorney Trilogy. Up next, the second game. I have no idea how I continue the second game. So I'll figure that out, and we'll be ready for tomorrow. Actually, I'll just figure it out tomorrow. We can figure it out together. for the start of Game 2! Thank you everyone so much for joining and watching. I hope you all join next time, tomorrow. You know what? I'm gonna try to do this like the others do. Thanks everyone for watching. Hope to see you next time. Peace out all. Bye.